Hello and welcome back to the channel, and in this video we're going to create and deploy a front-end landing page. We'll be utilizing modern-day front-end tools such as Next.js 14, Tailwind CSS, and finally my favorite UI library, ShadCN UI. And if we head over to the screen, you can see exactly what we will be building. Now, I made this site specifically for my YouTube editor named Ben. I love you, Ben. However, I decided to document how I created it and how I built this frankly amazing landing page. And by the way, I took a lot of inspiration from Highstorm, which is an open source front-end project. I mostly just took the hero section, so I utilize a lot from them. So if you want to check them out, I will leave their GitHub repository down below. I highly recommend it. But you know, we added a bunch of new stuff and a lot to the landing page, so I think you will learn a lot. And again, we'll walk through everything from the gradients to the moving arrows on the button hover to displaying autoplay YouTube videos using a third-party tool. And I'll finally show you down here how to input Calendly into your app. This is a very basic front-end application. However, utilizing good practices is always good, and I did my best to follow good practices. And before we get into it, please like and subscribe. It would honestly really go a long way. Most people would charge for something like this, but I am just giving it to you just so you can learn. But anyways, let's get started with a tutorial. And to get started, all we need to do is run npx create next app at latest. And we can just name this whatever, Ben, because, oh, come on, it's called Ben. Let's just call it edit. TypeScript. Look, I'm not usually a fan of TypeScript for these small projects, but we're just going to have it just in case. ESLint, yes. Tailwind CSS, yes. SRC directory, no. App router, yes. Import alias, no. And we just need to let this load and we can get started with the application. And by the way, let me know how I'm doing, okay? I'm really new to this tutorial style thing. So if I'm doing a good job or a bad job, let me know. And also hit that like button because I don't charge for this. And I feel like people charge for these types of videos, you know, like high quality content. So I don't know. If you can, like and subscribe, it would really go a long way. But anyways, back to the screen. As you can see that the Next.js folder is ready. So all we need to do is actually go into cd edit and run our application using npm run dev. And if we open this up into our localhost 3000, we can see the basic boilerplate code for Next.js, and we can get started. So first things first, we need to go into our app layout, or actually into our page.tsx, and we can remove everything in here, run a div just like that, and we can just write h1 and just a hello to make sure that everything is a-okay. Let me see here. Hello, perfect. And once we're done that, we need to open a folder within our edit folder called components. And here's where the bulk of our time for this project will be. Here we're gonna have everything we need for the landing page, from the hero section to the footer. So we can get started and kind of get the files ready so we can structure out the entire app. And within this, we're gonna have a couple of files so that we can make the site nice and kind of structured. So the first thing we will need is a Calendly folder. So calendly.tsx. We will also need a channels.tsx. We will also need an edited shorts.tsx, a edited videos.tsx. Oops. A footer.tsx, a hero.tsx, a landing.tsx, and finally the particles.tsx. So I usually like to get these over and done with, like the main parts of our landing page, just so we don't have to keep adding and creating things. And so when it's time to go into the specific file, then we can just go right away rather than having to worry. And I'll actually expand this so you can see what we have. We have a Calendly, channels, edited shorts, edited videos, footer, hero, landing, particles. So the first thing we need to do is actually head over to our landing.tsx. And here's where we're going to call every part of these files in so that we can display it into our app. So in here, we can just run export const landing equals to open brackets return div. And in here, we can just write hello again. And if we go back into our layout, or excuse me, the page, we can actually call the landing. We can call the landing from the page. If we export it, my bad guys, export function landing. Let's just call that landing. It's like that. Oh, hold on. I had a dumb moment there. Right in here. Call landing from @/components/landing. So right now you can see it says hello, and this is coming from the landing.tsx right over here. Awesome. We can actually close this up, and in here we can structure what we need to do. So the first thing we will need is, I'll actually write some notes just so we know what we actually fully need. So we firstly need the hero section for the display. We also need the edited videos to display what videos he edits. We also need the edited videos shorts. And the channels worked with. And finally, we need the Calendly booking page. Calendly booking page, as well as actually the footer. So that's all we need. Let's actually call this a use client so we don't get too confused here. And actually within this div, we need to run another div. You'll see why by the end of the video, but the footer will be separate from everything. And in here, we can write our first class. We will need padding top of 32, a padding bottom of 16. In the medium pages, we need a padding top of 52, just like that. And in the medium, we also need a padding bottom of 32. It will be relative, max width of 5XL, min height screen, padding X of 4, MX auto, a small pixel 6, and space Y 80. And with that, we can get started with the hero page. And if we open back up the page over here, we can go into our hero and do the exact same thing as we did in the landing page. So export const hero is equal to, in out brackets, return, and a div. So we can actually call this within the landing page now. So all we need to do is just call hero like this. And within the hero, we can run class name of padding top 20. And then in here, we can run div, have a class name of text center px of 8, another div, bunch of divs, and have a margin bottom of 6, just like that. Fix that up so we don't get confused. So 3 divs thus far, and then a 4th div with a class name of relative inline flex before absolute, before inset 0. And if you don't know what we're doing thus far, this is for the cool arrow button. When the user hovers over it, I want there to be a cool animation. So this is what we are doing in order for that to happen. And within here, we need to run a link from Next link. This comes pre-installed with Next.js. And within this, we can actually just close this up so you don't get confused. We can run href of, just keep that blank for now, and a class name of px3, py of 1, text small, font medium, inline flex, items center, justify center, border rounded full, and then a text zinc of 300, a hover state of text white, transition, duration 150, ease in out, width of full, group, border, slate 100 over 40. And this is just the opacity. And as you can see thus far, you can see this cool looking border. I know it's a lot, but trust me, it will be well worth it. And actually we need one more thing from this link. It will be target of underscore blank. And basically when the user clicks on this button, we want another page to pop up, and this will be a link to his social media. So when we click on this, we want it to take us to another page instead of taking this page away from us. And actually we can do that right now. So https twitter.com/benvfx, just like that. So now if we open this up, we can write a span, and in here we have a relative inline flex items center. And we open this up, we can write my socials, and then just like that. And this will be where we will be putting the arrows. But right now you can see that when we click on this, it takes us to Ben's Twitter account. So great job thus far. In the socials, we will open up another span. And in here, we're going to write dash at GT. And this is just the arrow. So oops, just like this. This is an arrow for this over here. And what we want is for this arrow to move when we hover over it. And to do that, all we need to do is write tracking normal, text primary 500, group hover, oops, big group dash hover, translate x 0.5, transition, transform, duration 150, ease in out, and ML of 1. And so right now, I believe if we hover over it, we can see a really cool arrow. I guess what you can call it is like a movement. And this is exactly what we want. And we need to go outside of this second div. So actually we can just close this up. And in here, we basically have to write the title. So let's just run h1 element and write hi Ben, just for the sake of it. Actually, not good enough. Edits made easy. And we need to run class name, padding bottom of 4, font extra bold, tracking tight, text transparent, text 7XL, large text 8XL, BG clip text. And you'll see in a second, but this will be for the gradient text. So BG clip text, BG gradient to right from cyan 400 via blue 600 to cyan 500. Close that up like that. And as you can see, looks freaking fire, man. Look how nice and beautiful this looks. So once we have that done, we need to write the subheader in the hero. And in here, we need to write transform your videos with retention based editing. And as per usual, we need to open up the class name and write margin bottom of 8, text large, text zinc 300 divided by 40, font medium. And the final part of our hero page is we need to open up a div. And in the div, we will be having a link tag once again. We need the big link tag. And within here, we need to write book a free call. And then in open brackets, we need to write this. And within the link, as per usual, we will actually be writing the href of hashtag Calendly. So this will take us to the Calendly section of the page. And we will have a class name of width full, justify center, flex items center, white space, no wrap, transition, duration 150, ease in, out, font medium, rounded, px of 4, and a py of 1.5, text zinc of 900, and a background gradient to right from white to zinc. Oops, from white 90. Actually, let's do 80 via white to white 80, hover bg white group. And what we need to do next is actually get an arrow icon from Lucid React. So let's go to Lucid React install, and let's just install Lucid React so we can use their beautiful icons. So let's just take this, go into here, and npm, actually we need to go into cd edit and then run npm install Lucid React. And so once that's done, we can actually go over here and we can import arrow right from Lucid React, just like that. And within here, we can just run arrow right from Lucid React. Class name of width of 3, height of 3, tracking normal, text primary 500, group hover, and a translate x of 0.5, transition transform duration of 150, as well as an ease in, out, and an ml of 1. And as you can see, it looks all messed up, and I just realized that we forgot to design it within the div. So we need to go in the div above the link, and we need to design this as well. Within here, we can write flex col items center, and all we need to write is flex col items center, max width of extra small, so we have the width kind of nice, just like that. And then an mx of auto, a gap of 4, so we have a space between these two, and a small of justify center, and a small of flex row, small of inline, flex, just like that. And I just realized the arrow right should actually be within the link. That's my fault, guys. So just do that, and as a result of that, you can see right now it looks absolutely freaking beautiful. And this is the hero done, and we can actually get started with the rest of the app. We firstly then need to get the date, like the animations on this. So we want to have a cool animations. We need to change the background of this and finish up the rest of the app. But we got most of the difficult part done, and sorry if it took too long, but look how beautiful this looks. It's gonna be well worth it. Just amazing. Looks really great. Good job thus far. All right, so what we need to do next is go into our globals CSS, delete absolutely everything except for the Tailwind utilities at the top. So keep these over here, and you can already see this already looks messed up, but we just need to run body background color of #121212 and a text color of white, so we don't have to keep changing it. And then actually above that, we need to run HTML scroll behavior of smooth. So everything here will be smooth when we are hovering or doing anything like that, or sorry, when we're going down the page, it will look hella smooth. All right, so as of now, we have the hero section done, but as said before, we need to add the animations to the app. And to do that, we are going to be using data AOS install. So this is actually just called AOS. I don't know why I said AOS install, but this is an animation library where you can just add a simple piece of code and you can utilize animations into your site. And to do that, let's just go to AOS over here. And actually, no, this won't work. We need to go to the NPM section and get this over here. So NPM install aos -- save. So let's just run that over here. And all we need to do is actually go into our landing page where we have the hero section, okay? And within here, we can import aos from aos, and then import aos dist aos.css. So it seems to not be working. So let's see what's up. And to make it work, we need to go within here and run use effect. Damn, it's really reading my mind. So import use effect from React. Open that up just like this. And within here, we need to write aos.init. Open that up again. And in here, we need to write disable phone, comma, duration of 800. So the animation will be a little bit slow. Finally, easing of ease -out -cubic. Just like that. And now within our entire app, we will have the data AOS working. And if we go back into our hero section, within our third div over here, we can just write data -AOS is equal to fade down. And as of now, this still is not working. Maybe we need to get the type safe. So let's just get this. I really don't know why it's acting like this. So npm save dev at types AOS might work. Maybe because we're using TypeScript. I honestly have no idea. There we go. It works. Perfect. So we have that. And if we refresh, it should work. So you can see the first animation is working. And that's because we are utilizing the fade down effect on the first aspect of it. So we're only using it on the first button. And so what we need to do is go into our H1 element where it says edits made easy and do the exact same thing. So data AOS is equal to fade down. And again, within the P, we're actually going to write data AOS is going to be a little bit different. So it's actually going to be fade down, but a delay. Oops. We're going to have a data AOS delay of 200. So what we're doing here is there's going to be a different amount of time for each thing. So you can see this one came down a little bit slower. So I'll do it once again. And as you can see, it went down slower. And finally, we'll do the same thing over here. So data AOS is equal to fade down and a data AOS delay of around 400. And if we refresh the page, you can see it in real time. Well done. We've got the most difficult aspect of the app finished. We're done with the animations, no more animations. We're done with the hero section with the cool freaking buttons and the gradients. Next up, we've got the YouTube player, and we'll be using ShadCN for some of the design. So let's just close some things like this. And within the edited videos file, which is this one over here, we just need to write export const edited videos, and within here we can just run return and a div just like that. And as usual, we go into the landing page and we can just call edited videos like that. And to get started with this section, we will need to get ShadCN UI, which is a UI library. We need to get their separator component, which will make it look sick, you will see. And also we need the React YouTube components so we can autoplay YouTube videos. For some reason, React doesn't let us autoplay YouTube videos using the iframe. Instead, we're going to be using a library to do that. And so the first thing we need to do is just head over to ShadCN UI. And within here, we can just look up the separator component. Head over to the code so we can manually set this up. And so let's just grab this. Now I like to manually do this because I don't want there too many things on my app. So npm install radix UI separator. You can do this using the CLI. So you can just install it like this and everything will be there. But I personally like having control over everything for some reason, so I just like to do that. So we just need to copy this again, and this will actually be located within our components folder and then UI folder. And within here, we just need to write separator.tsx, and within here, just paste everything in here. And we see that we need a CN from the libs folder. So let's just do that real quick. Let's just grab that. It'll be libs. It'll be utils.tsx. Actually, just ts. Within here, we're going to write import type class value, comma, CLX from CLSX. And this actually needs to be CLSX, as well as import TW merge from Tailwind merge. And finally, we can just write export function CN inputs class value brackets, open that baby up, and within here let's just write return TW merge CLSX inputs, just like that. If this is a little bit confusing, don't worry. We just had to grab everything from this library just so the ShadCN UI can work. And the second thing we need is React YouTube. So we just need to grab that. So npm install React YouTube. And actually, let me clear everything so you can know how to do everything. So npm install React YouTube. And finally, we can get started with the rest of the app. So let's just close what we don't need. And in the edited videos section, we can import both YouTube from React YouTube, as well as import separator from ./UI separator, okay? And within the div, we can just run class name of text center. And within here, we can run h1 videos I've created, and we might be able to see everything, so we can see it down here. And let's just style the h1 real quick, and let's just write padding bottom of 4, a font bold, a tracking tight, text 5XL, large text 6XL. And within here, we need to run a div for the design, sorry, not the design, for the separator. And here we can write our separator that took us a while to install, and run class name of margin top of 3, bg slate of 100 divided by 20, height of 0.5, and finally a width of 40. And one more thing here, we need to center this. So let's just run flex items center justify center, just like that. And you can see we have our first separator, and looks pretty good in my opinion. Looks actually really nice. And next up, we need to add the videos that we are playing. So to do that, we need to go into another div as per every freaking React app. And within here, we're going to do another div just like this. And in the first div that we opened, we're going to run flex justify center. And then the second div, we're going to write margin top of 10, grid, small grid cols 1, and then large be grid cols of 2, and a gap of 5. And within here, we're going to write 4 YouTube tags. So 1, and just paste the rests. So 2, 3, 4. And you can see already that we have the YouTube videos ready. And to display the videos, okay, we need to go in between the export and the return and do a const video options. So we need to actually write some code to display like the autoplay of the videos and the size of the videos and stuff like that. And within here, we need to write player vars. Open that up. And then autoplay of 1. So we're just saying that we want there to be an autoplay. We want there to be no controls, so 0. A rel of 0, a show info of 0, a mute of 1, so we don't want there to be any muting, and a loop of 1. So it'll be looped, it'll be muted, and we will have an autoplay. And outside of the curly brackets, but still within video options, we need to have a height of 390, actually, sorry, 480, and a width of 270, just like that. And finally, we need there to be a cool looking class name. So we're just going to add a rounded of XL for a nice rounding on the videos. And within here, we can just write opts of video options, just like this. So this just gives us the video options of what we need. And I think I called it video option, not video options. That's fine, doesn't matter. And we can see down here that we have our first video. And I just realized that we called this justify. And we can just copy and paste this into all of them. So 1, 2, and 3. And to display the video, we need to grab the video ID from each video. And to do so, to grab a YouTube video's video ID, let's just watch this guy's workout video. He's doing a great job. The video ID for this video is just this over here. It's just anything after the V, that is the video ID, okay? So it's usually about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's usually about 11 letters. So just make sure it's that, okay? And so the videos I'll be playing are these. All right, and I just realized that it should be a large grid cols of 2. In addition, this looks kind of funny. It looks like a short because I actually messed it up. This should be the width, and this should be the height. And once we see that, we can see it's all fixed up. So right now, if we open this up, it looks absolutely freaking amazing. Great job thus far. And even you can see over here, my video is uploaded. But yeah, thus far, great job so far. We can actually close this up, and we need to then just do the edited video shorts. And luckily for us, this will be the exact same but different videos and different heights. So we can just speed run through this. So export function, export const edited shorts is equal to a return function and a div. And look, I'm just gonna copy the edited video from here. So we're just gonna grab this div just like this, go into edited shorts, paste it over here, and let's just grab everything else. So the video options, just like that, again within each thing. And finally, we can just grab the imports just like this. It's very chaotic, I know, with all the videos, but just trust me, okay? And all we need to do is just change the video ID. Again, I'm not gonna bore you with this. You're probably gonna add your own thing, but I'm gonna add his videos that he's edited that are shorts. And so once we do that, we can go back to the landing page and call the edited shorts. So once we're here, we can see the shorts displaying as usual. And with that, we have most of the site done. Actually, we need to change this up. Videos created, it should be shorts I've created. Actually, not created, edited is a bit better. You can actually, videos I've edited as well here. This looks a little bit better. And once we have that, we need to work on the channels worked with section. So to do that, we just need to go into our channels. And again, export const channels is equal to an open function, return of div. And within here, we need to write a class name of text center and a height, not a height, a class name in the H1 of padding bottom 4, font bold, tracking light. It's not tracking tight, it's tracking tight. Text 5XL, large text 6XL. And in here, we're gonna write channels I've worked with. Now, as usual, we're gonna write the separator once again. So separator from ./UI, and we can just grab this from our previous code. And within the div, we just need to write flex items center, justify of center. We will need to go within here and write const channels is equal to open brackets, and we're gonna have a logo for each of them. We're gonna have a name for each of them. We're gonna have subs for each of them to display the number of subs they have, and finally a link to their channel to add a little more pizzazz to them. And so if you want to copy me, then that's fine. I don't know why you'd need the images, but I'm just going to take the images that I installed into the code, And so if we grab that and go into our public folder, we can just get each piece of them and install them, put them in, and display them. So I'm going to do that right now. So we got the alpha, we've got Dan over here, beautiful Dan. We've got Fraser, and we've got Joe the doctor himself. So once we close these up, we can get started with the channels. And we are going to have 4 of them. So let's just go 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to have /alpha.jpg. We're going to have a /Fraser.jpg. We're also going to have a /dan.jpg. And finally, we're going to have a /joe.jpg, just like that. Within here, we're going to have the alpha subs. This guy has like 200K subs, I believe. So 200,000. And a link to his page will be HTTPS, which we will copy and paste, at Alpha Central Official, just like that. And then here we're going to have the link to Fraser Brooks channel. We're going to have /Dan Kieft. Finally, we're going to have Joe_Leach. And sorry, we're all over the place. I just didn't want to have to do the links over and over again. So here we can just write Brooks, just like that. Brooks. Brooks, and Brooks has a sub count of 70,000. Dan, it would just be Dan Kieft. Oops, I think I spelt it wrong. I think it's like this. And Dan has a sub count of 40,000, which is a lot. And then Joe Leach over here has a sub count of 30,000. And so why we did this was that we don't have to repeat ourselves when we're displaying all this data. And here's what I mean, okay? So to display all of this, and sorry we're all over the place, let's go back into our landing and call this so we know what we're doing. And let's just call the channels just like this. Close that up, and we can see it in real time so we don't get confused, you know? So channels I have worked with, and close this up. Channels, we need to run a class name of flex items center, justify center, mx of auto, small space x4, large space x of 8. Oops, x of 8. And in here, instead of doing this 4 times of displaying them, all we need to do is just map through the channels. So channels.map, 2 brackets. We have to have for each channel and an index to obviously track everything. And open that up. And then here, we're going to have a div with a key of the index and a class name of margin top 10 and flex. Close that div. And in here, we're going to have a div once again. I don't know why it's being annoying making me write it twice, but I guess that's fine. And actually, we have a big problem. It's channels.map. Oops, there we go. Channels.map. And in this div, we can run class name once again and run flex col items center, just like that. And within here, you can just write link. So link from next link. So again, import from next link. href of channel.link. And we'll go back to this in a second, but we need to run h1 of class name to font semi-bold, text XO, margin top of 4. And then here we can write channel dot name, just like that. Finally, we need to write the p tag where we're going to have the channel dot subs, and I forgot to design it, but we need to run a class name of text large and a margin top of 2. And we can see right now we have the names, looks freaking perfect. But one thing that's missing is the avatar. We know we want the circle logo so that we can see the channel name and link it. And so to do that, we need to go to Material UI, just like this, and we need to install it. Actually, let's go to MUI install, just like this, and just grab npm install material UI. Okay, this is going to be for the avatar we're getting. It'll make sense in a second, but just paste this in here. And once you have that installed, we can go over here and run import avatar from @MUI/material. Okay. And why we're grabbing this is so that when we go into our link, we can simply just display the avatar that we got, and then the src will be the channel.logo, and an alt, just in case it does not load, of channel.name, and close that up. And if we go back in here, it's saying that, okay, perfect. So right now we have one more problem with the channels page. We can see that the avatar is very small. And on the one hand, we could either have a set height, so it could be big for all the screens, or we can have a dynamic height and width for each specific screen size. And I think we're going to go with that because it'll be good practice and good for us to do so we can both learn. And so to do this, I don't usually do this for, specific heights and width of like an H1, but since we're working with a very specific avatar element, I like to just create my own style over here. And so within here, we can just write a width and like that. Open that up, and for extra small size screens, we can write size of 50, and for small screens, we can write a size of 100, and finally, the width of a medium will be 150 pixels. And for the height, we can just do the same thing, so it'll just be just like that. And again, I'm doing this because it's just an avatar, like it's very specific, and I want it to have a specific height and width for different size screens. And so to apply this, we need to go into the avatar and run sx, just like this, equals to style. Oops, just like that. And so right now you can see if we scroll down, it has a specific size when we get small and big. So there we go. You can see right now it's very small, and as it grows, gets bigger, no homo. So next up, we need to do the Calendly page. And as usual, for the past few ones, we need to write export const Calendly is equal to the open bracket return. Within here, let's just write a regular div. Let's go back into our landing page and run the Calendly from Calendly, just like this. So we're grabbing Calendly from Calendly, and just go into any of the other ones we've done, so like the hero, and just actually not the hero, we actually need to go into another one, and just grab the separator from UI separator, and just grab this right over here. But I don't want to keep writing it. It's just taking a lot of time, so let's just write that. And within here, on the first div, we're gonna write text center, and we're gonna give this an ID of Calendly, so that when we press this, it's supposed to take us down. Oh, it's Calendly. I did it for some reason. So let's go back into our hero page, and let's go down here and write Calendly, just like that. So if we refresh the page, it should take us to that. There we go. Perfect. So it's working. So next up, we need to write an H1 element, just like this, and write ready to transform your content, and write a break one like this. So it's self-closing. Book a free editing consultation below, just like that. If you look at how it looks thus far, you can see looks okay, but we need to design this, right? And what's going on here? So and to go in this, and in the H1 we can just write padding bottom of 4, font bold, tracking height, text for Excel, large text for Excel. We just leave it the same, I guess. Actually, we don't even need this. We'll make it 5XL for the larges, doesn't matter. And with that, we need to install the inline widget from inline widget install from React Calendly. So we need to get this and grab the React Calendly. This will be used to display the Calendly that we saw earlier. So just grab that and run it in here. So npm install -- save React Calendly. And once we're here, we just need to import the inline widget from React Calendly, just like that, and call it within our app. So inline widget, and just display everything we need to. So the URL we can just grab from Calendly. So actually this might be it. So this specific is from the Calendly link, but if you want to display your own, just go to calendly.com. So Calendly, just like this, go to your account. And so the specific one you have, you just have to copy it. So this is one of mine. So I just share it, copy it, and then paste it here. But I already have his over here, so don't worry about it. And then to style it, this is not the one we need. We need to write 1000 pixels. So it's styles equal to double brackets. And within here, we need to write a comma and a border radius of 5 pixels. So I am doing the styles like this rather than the class name, only because it will not work on the inline widget. Like to design the widget, it will not work for some reason if I'm using class name, so I have to do this instead. And hopefully if you refresh, this should work. If it's not, we can see what's going on. VF, and it's VFSX. Okay, so that should work now, hopefully. There we go. So right now you can see the border looks nice. The height is perfect. You can see everything's great. Without it, it just does not look as good. But this just works for me, okay? So it looks freaking amazing. We're done with the Calendly page. Next up, we need to just write the footer, which will take not that long. And finally, we need to display the particles, which I bet some of you have been waiting for. And so to display the footer, we just need to write the export const footer. Then outside, just like that, and a div. Within here, we need to write a class name of text center padding bottom of 8. Within here, we need to write a div with a class name of flex items center justify center space x of 4. Open that up, and we need to do the items once again. So we're gonna have the links to all his socials. So we can just open this up like this, and in here we're gonna have an href just like this, as well as an icon. So we're gonna have icons as well as the hrefs. And so to get icons, I personally like Material UI icons, so I'm gonna grab that. So Material UI icons install, and we're just going to npm install. Oh, I think we can actually, it's already installed, so let's just try it out. So import x icon maybe. I actually don't know if it will work, so let's just try this. So at MUI / all right, so it's not going to work, so we just need to write material /x. And to know if it works is that we are just going to grab this and just install it once again. So I'll just run that. Again, this is from Material UI icons, and we can see if it works. So does this work? Perfect. So it works. So we're going to grab the X icon, the YouTube icon from Material. Oops, it's not going to work. Okay, that's fine. Import YouTube icon from just like that. We're gonna grab the import email icon from email. We're gonna grab the Instagram icon. And we're just gonna grab link from next link, okay? And everything will make sense in a moment, but within here, let's just link everything. So here's gonna be X icon, just like that. And we're gonna have a height of 8 and a width of 8. And again, it's gonna be HTTPS. I'm not gonna bore you with this, so I'm just gonna speed run through this. And within here, we're gonna have another one with an href of https://www.instagram.com/ben, then icon. And it's going to be 10 and 10 because the Instagram icon will be a bit smaller. I remember that. And then in here, we're going to write the YouTube icon. So href is going to be https www.youtube.com/@VFX Ben Lee. Oh boy, Ben is in this a lot, huh? And then the YouTube icon. And finally, we're going to have the email, which if you don't know how to send emails with React or to go to the user's email, we just need to write mail to and then display his email. So vfxbenlee@gmail.com. And finally, we're going to have the icon of email icon with a class name of height 8 and a width of 8. Oops. We're going to close it in here just like that. And within this, we just have to map through the links. So links.map, link, comma, index, space that out, do that. Actually, we need to write a triple bracket. Within here, we need to write link, href, link.href, and a key of index, just like that. A class name of hover, opacity -45, transition, duration of 300. And then here we can just write link.icon. So there seems to be an issue. So let's just see what's up. We're mapping through links. I just realized we forgot to add the extra bracket up here, just like that. So everything should work now. And if we go back to our page, we did not call it. So we need to go into our landing. And outside of this div, we just have to write the footer from /footer. Close that baby up. And if we go down here, we cannot see anything for some reason. So let's just see what's up. Wonder why it's not showing. So, oh, there we go. So I don't like how the Instagram is. So let's just make it height of 9 and a width of 9. And underneath this div, we can run a p tag with vfxbenlee@gmail.com and a p tag of Ben all rights reserved, just like that. And let's just grab the copyright text, whatever it is, copyright C. I'd like to copy it. So where is it at? Is this it? There we go. Cool. We got it. And in here, we can just write class name of text small and text slate of 100/50. And let's just copy and paste that into the other one. So just like this. And so the only issue we have thus far is one rather big problem, which is the particles. You know, we made a particles thing over here. And here is the coolest part of the app, okay? I am not going to act like I know how to do it. I literally just took it from highstorm.app that we talked about earlier. So if you want it, then I will link the repository to my app below. But all you want to do is, oops, not there. We need to go into this one over here. And I'll link everything. Don't worry about it. So I'll go into my components. And in here, I have a particles folder. And here I have all the like the super smart things. I read through it, so I kind of understand it. And I kind of know how they implemented it. But I'm not going to write the 236 lines of code for the particles. So just copy it and paste it in here. And there is one thing that you need to add to display it, because like this, it's not going to work. So we need to go into our utils folder. So create a folder in the edits and call it utils, just like this. Let's call this mouse-position.ts. And if we go to mouse position in the folder, which you can find again in the utils folder, we can just copy this and paste it over here. And if we head back into our particles, we can see what's up. Why is it not working? There we go. Now, if we go back into our app, we will not see anything because we have not called it. And where we will specifically be calling this is within our hero tag. And within our hero tag, we want to go in the first div only and just call the particles. So particles, just like this, from /particles, close that up and just have a class name of absolute inset 0 and a -z of 10. And if we go back to the page, we can see the particles. Now it should work now. Perfect. There we go. The particles is working and looks freaking beautiful. And we're done the app. This is the app, guys. Not really an app, a website. I understand that. But that is how and what I did to make this freaking application. Again, not application. I don't know why I keep calling it application. But again, we used the particles. Again, shout out to highstorm.app for the idea. Again, I'm not going to take any credit for the particles nor the buttons. I'm just learning from other people and I'm just implementing it into my app. So I hope you appreciated that. But again, check out Highstorm. It's a public open source app, so you can just copy from them as well. But amazing app, and I really liked it. All right, so you may be looking at me and saying, Zara, why are you wearing something different? And it is because I totally forgot to deploy the website to the web as promised. So what we will do real quick is, you're watching this because you reached the end of the video, is we will be deploying this to Vercel, okay? So all we want to do is just head over to vercel.com. So I'll actually walk with you through this. So you go to vercel.com and you're taken to this main site. You're going to do an add new project and then just select project. And in here, you want to import your GitHub repository, okay? I have this connected to my GitHub. Like, you can connect your Vercel account to your GitHub account. I highly recommend you do that, because whenever you'll update your code, then push it to your GitHub, it will be updated on your GitHub repository and thus be updated in your Vercel. It's just a lot easier, okay? So all we had to do here is just press import on the Ben app that we have here, and it's called Ben, as you can see here. So we're going to import that. We're just going to call it whatever, Ben. And then we're going to do framework. We're using Next.js. The root directory is not Ben, but edit. And then do we have anything? No. So all we need to do then is just, oh, it's already there. Okay. So Ben, let's just do edits. Okay. Let's just call it Ben edits and then select deploy. And in a couple of minutes, we'll know if it works or if we have any issues, but I'll see you in a second. Okay. So we do have a small error, and it is failed to compile in our deployment. And we can see here it says we cannot find Material UI icons YouTube as well as Tailwind merge. So let's see what's going on. So after looking at ChatGPT and trying to see what's been going on, I think we have to reinstall Material UI icons. So let's just go into edit and run npm install Material UI icons and see if that helps in any way. And we're also going to install Tailwind merge for some reason. I don't know why it's not working, but we can get that running as well. And if we go back in here, we can see that React YouTube was updated, as well as Tailwind merge was added. So let's just hope for the best and see what's going on. So let's just write updated JSON, whatever, package.json, and let's do it again. So I think with Vercel, once we deploy it once, we can actually, it redeploys on its own when we push a new GitHub repository to the app. So let's just see if that's what's been going on. All right, cool. So you can see here that it is building. So basically, if you don't know what happened, when we firstly deployed it, our GitHub was like that GitHub repository, this one over here that we're writing in, was connected to Vercel. So now whenever we add something or remove something and we push that to the GitHub repository, it automatically updates on Vercel. And if we check on it again, we can see that there's another error, and now it is on the material icons YouTube. So we're not getting the other error, I think, which is good. So we are just having the issue with the YouTube icon. I don't know why, but what happens if we delete it? So let's just delete this and Lucid React. Maybe we just get the Lucid React icon instead of that one. Maybe that's what's been giving us problems, but let's just see. No problem. We can just grab the YouTube icon from Lucid React instead. And let's just call it in here. Oops. Oh no. What's going on? So let's just call this YouTube and hope for the best, right? Pray to the gods that this works. So let's just see here, declared but never read. YouTube is depreciated. I wonder if it will work though. So let's just see if it works. It still works. So let's just push it, see what's going on. And then if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. All right. So let's just see one more time what we need. Module not found in footers. Okay. So let's see here, new YouTube icon. And when we check on it again, we can see that what we said is there, and hopefully it will successfully run on its own. I pray to God there's no more problems. We just get this done. But hopefully you know that Vercel is really good. But I guess we're just having some issues or technical issues with the deployment. But that's totally fine. You know what I mean? All right. So what's been going on here? All right. So channels, this can be escaped. So line 46. God, what's been going on here? To my camera, but I basically had to go back, okay? And what we need to do now is we've installed everything, and I'm just going to repeat most of this. However, I did realize some issues with this, okay? So the first was in the hero.tsx. You know that error we were getting with the apostrophe? It was just really weird. So just copy this GitHub repository, which I will leave below, and just go into your hero section and paste this exact one, okay? We were just getting some issues for some reason, and I don't know why, but I believe now once we fix everything, it should work. In addition, we need to go back and remove the apostrophes from everything here, okay? You don't need them, but if you do want them, you can do the and apostrophe from ESLint. It's very simple, but I believe once you remove that, we have everything ready. So we can just push this once more. And again, sorry for the inconvenience. And we can just do removed tag like that. And we can push to origin. And so if we go back into Ben edits over here, we can see that it is deploying, and hopefully it should work now. I'm really not too sure. We're going to have to eyeball it, but apologies again for the inconvenience. But we can see we got some warnings. However, I just wanted to say something. If you do want the apostrophe, you can just do the and, I believe it's and apos like this. And this gets a single quote. So this thing will be, if we just grab this and put it into our app somewhere. So let's just call it, let's go into our hero section. And in here, let's just say it's whatever, my socials, and then and a post like that. We can see the single quote. So we can add this within our app. So if you do want it, so let's say you want to add I've in here, we can just do videos I've edited and just do the and a pause like this. And we can see here videos I've edited. So you can add it if you want. For the time's sake, I don't want to just go back and do everything. Actually, you know what? Let's just do it. Whatever. Landing. Or where is it? Where is it? Edited shorts. We can add edited shorts over. Oops. And a pause just like this. And in channels, we can just do and a pause. I don't know why I did this in my computer. It may have worked for you without this. But if we go back, we can see that the site is deployed. This is the actual site deployed, guys. Okay. Well done, I guess. Sorry for the no camera and the inconvenience of going back and forth and going the next day. I'm still very new to this. However, we've got everything finished. We've got it deployed. We have a beautiful looking site with the icons working, the links working, and you can book a call with Ben if you want. But hopefully you did your own thing as well, okay? But yeah, that is the site. We did everything from started out with the new Next.js app, and we ended it off with deploying it to the site. You can literally go to this site right now. But again, I will leave the GitHub repository to this below. So if you want to copy it and change it on your own, you're more than happy to do so. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. And if you need anything, again, I will leave the Discord channel down below. Happy coding, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.